I'm Alex Gameworks here at PAX South 2016. I'm standing in here in front of the From Beneath booth. Can you tell me your name and tell us a little bit of the game we're standing in front of?
Sure. My name is Diego Alegre. I'm the lead developer for From Beneath. It's a survival horror game for Android, iPhone, and eventually we're trying to get it on Steam. But our initial release is going to be on mobile. What we're trying to do is kind of like a console-style experience on your mobile device. Something that you can just pick up, do a mission, because it's mission-based, so you can just grab it, do a mission, and continue with your day. We want to have graphics that closely resemble what you'd experience on a computer game, and also an experience that feels like something that you would be playing sitting on your couch, not just like an app.
So what was the development process like for? What were the specific challenges for doing mobile? And also, what was the process behind deciding to do it for mobile as opposed to something more powerful like a PC?
Right. I felt like I wanted to go to mobile because there really wasn't that much of a market for it. No one was really trying to go for it. People have phones, and there's a ton of people that want to play games. And if a Nintendo DS works, it's because people want something that they can play on the go. So having this really powerful device and just keeping it on like super simple games that you're only gonna play for like 5 minutes just kind of seemed like it was wasting an opportunity, and I wanted to kind of like go for a market that was unexplored a little bit.
So what were some of the kind of like initial challenges that you had with developing something like this that kind of started on more of a console thing and kind of changing it to more of a mobile experience? What were some of the challenges with that?
Well, getting controls to work is always a pain, especially when there's no tactile feedback. So it took us a while to get something that it takes a bit to get used to, but it quickly becomes very natural. Once you play just a few minutes, it starts becoming very natural. And we use this method of one button rules them all. There's one button that does everything. It can handle all of your actions, like picking up items, shooting your gun if you have a weapon, etc. All with just one quick button. It just knows what you need.
So I've heard a little bit from both you and some of the other people here about the story of this. It seems kind of interesting, it seems interlocking. Can you talk a little bit about what's kind of unique and interesting about the story here?
Okay, so yeah, we have 7 characters. They're all different, they play a little bit differently, and you actually don't get to choose your character. You don't get to choose who you play as. The game does it for you. Each mission has its own character. And what happens is that all of these characters' stories are happening at the same time, and their stories are intertwining. So what might not make sense, an event that might not make sense in one level for a character will eventually be made sense by another character. For example, in the demo level, there's actually a loud noise in a hallway that makes the floor kind of shake. And that doesn't really have much to do with the level, but later on you play as another character in an upper level of the hospital, and this character causes a shelf to fall, and that kind of starts giving you an idea of where these characters are and what the timeline is.
All right, that's pretty neat. So while I was playing, I saw a monster, right? As you said, it reacted to sound. Is that going to be the main monster of the game, or is it kind of like a Silent Hill where there's different types of monsters that all have their different aspects to them, or is it kind of like a singular, more like Amnesia, kind of a monster experience?
No, we have multiple types of monsters. We have, these monsters that are blind, that are the more like basic monsters. We also have some that work in groups that will call others. And we actually have one that you really don't want to piss off because it will kill you. If it sees you, you are done.
So it's kind of almost like a Left 4 Dead, kind of like different types do different things. You gotta have different strategies about how to deal with each one.
Yes, exactly. That's what we wanted.
All right, cool. That sounds neat, man. All right, so what can we expect this to come out for, and on what timeline?
So we're thinking, kind of like basing it around the iPhone 5 and Galaxy S5 or so. Anything up, it'll do great. It'll run very well. And we're hoping to release sometime, around April, with doing some testing and some tweaks here and there.
Are there any plans for any sort of console or Steam releases?
Yeah, so we have done so much with so little processing power. Is one of the things that I say is that we can't wait to take the game in its current state and just completely revamp it and try to do a Steam release. Because I think we'd have so much fun. We've had so many limitations that we work around that just having this really powerful thing as a computer will be so much fun to work with.
It's almost like an HD re-release thing is kind of the plan.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, man.
No, thank you.
So I've done 2 interviews so far. I'm really only planning on doing one more.
There's really not that much that's all that interesting.
Yeah, a lot of them I'm just not not feeling, which is weird because there's a lot more games. I've been following you on Twitter, so I know that as far as your programmer is concerned, it seems like he's redone it a couple times. Just kind of like the way it flies.